Happy almost New Year. Happy New Year's Eve day. Hello. Hi, Ring Girl Cindy. Good morning. Hi, Arlene. Good morning. Ah, Happy New Year's Eve day. This is Meri at the Meri Atelier, and yeah, it's the Streamathon 2024. Can you believe that we've made it to 2024? Man, I'll tell you, it seems so far away just yesterday. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. Hi, Wee Wee. Arlene, Mrs. Gigi. Oh, welcome. Mrs. Gigi, I want to tell you how good it is to see you again. Yeah. Hi, Miriam. Thank you so much, Miriam, for you and Raul for stepping up to the plate and making this Streamathon possible for 2024. Hi, Terry. Good morning, Terry. Hi, Eddie and Chris. Oh, it's good to see all of you. Kitty Jen. Good morning, Kitty Jen. We rock. So, I did print off a schedule. I'll put this in my, after the year has ended, I'll put this in my December desk journal. Raul and Miriam kicked it off. Great job, Raul. Great job, Miriam. I couldn't stay for it all, but I stayed for most of it. It was so good to see so many of you. So many of you. I'm not going to go through the list, but I'm going to keep the list handy for me. I made one copy for my journal and one copy to keep in my hand. So if you do not have a copy of this, it's all over the internet. Ask Raul, ask Miriam, or you can go to my community tab. I have it on my community tab. I do have channel links in the description on my on the post on my community tab. So if you don't know, some of these people are new to me. So it's so good to get to know new channels. And I was telling Raul and Miriam, I was telling them in their stream this morning how good it is to see it hosted by some international artists. Yeah, because for the last several years, the musical Scrapper was from Canada. So I guess you could consider her international. I think of Canada as being a part of North America, Canada and Mexico. So in my head, I do not call Canada and Mexico international. Isn't that weird? But it's so good to see because I know when I hosted the Streamathon, it was really hard for me to find international artists. I had some help from Shelley Red, and she got some international artists that she knew involved. But I think it's so good to see it hosted by international artists. So I think it's going to draw in more diversity into our art community, which I think is really a good thing. Hi, is it Amira and Jaden? And if I missed you while I'm chatting, I certainly apologize. So 2023 was kind of an off year for me, and I am going to work very hard to change that in 2024. We all talk about I'm not going to do resolutions, and I'm not going to do resolutions, New Year's resolutions, but I have goals. And one of my goals is to work on my channel. My channel homepage needs updating. I basically have ignored it, and I need to be more consistent. I got off schedule with my streams. I had some health issues, and I got very tired, and I got a little bit discouraged because I wasn't meeting my own expectations of myself. So I want to remind you, not only on my channel, but when you visit the channels during the next 2 days, and we have full 2 full days ahead of us. Isn't that great? We have 2 full days ahead of us where we can visit art streams, and there's no reason for sitting out there and feeling bored. So, but when you visit the streams, be sure to, even if you don't participate in the chat, I know it's hard to participate sometimes. Sometimes your hands are busy on your own work, and sometimes you're just tired. You don't feel like chatting. 2023 was a long year. And, but when you do visit, give a thumbs up and share. Especially the streamathon. Share the streamathon out maybe on whatever social media that you post on, because it draws people in to what we're doing. Raul says, my resolution is to do less drawing and more practicing. I want to master the art of, and it went away. Let me get over here to my tablet. I've been standing up. Let me get over to my tablet. I'm just going to kind of go through what I'm going to be doing on, well, my tablet needs a new, my tablet needs a new, let me go to my channel here, go to my live stream. Oh, I got the sound on. Hold on, let me turn the sound down. My tablet needs a new charging cord. So there we are. And there's Anne. Hi, Anne. It's so good to see you. That is another one of my goals. Not Anne, but it involves Anne. Over the last couple years, and this is going to talk about some of the negative, and I won't dwell on it. Maybe that could be a goal in itself, not to dwell on negativity, but to dwell on positivity, to look forward and to make those around me that I have contact with more comfortable with being in my presence. And that's saying a lot. That is not always easy. But I've had conflicts, and you're going to meet conflicts on the internet, in the chat streams. You're going to find people that disagree with you, and that's okay, because if we all agreed, well, this might be a perfect world, but I don't know. I think some of us would lose our identity. So allow that other person to have their identity, and you hold on to yours. And one of my resolutions, one of my goals, and I'll probably fall and stumble. If you fall and stumble, get up again. Get up again, say, I blew it, and I'm going to fix that. And that's kind of what I want to do in 2024, is tell those people that, not tell them, but show them maybe that, hey, the past is the past. Let's move on. Let's treat each other with respect. And I have not always done that, to tell you the truth. It was always, I want to hold on to what I think. And that's okay. You can hold on to what you want to think, but you need, I'm talking to myself here, you need to make those around you comfortable with being in your presence. So I just want, I'm not going to dwell on that because I want to move on to my slow stitching, but I want to share that with you because it's one thing that I personally need to work on. All right. Wow, what a way to start a stream. So I want to talk about slow stitch. I want to put in a link, and I hope that I have it in my, copybook here, my chats, my copy and paste. Let me finish this. And I want to be more consistent with my streaming in 20. Yes. Okay. I'm going to pin this because I'm going to talk about her during my stream. I found, and I don't know if her name is Katie Kathleen, I think it's Kathleen. I just found her. I'm new to her channel. I've been watching her videos. I love listening to her. I want to introduce her to you. And I'm going to be doing slow stitching, a lot of slow stitching in 2024. I'm going to call her K3N. Her channel name is K3N Cloth Tales. And she's doing a 2024 slow stitch journal project. She's working on the cover now, and that's what I'm going to show you. I went to the dollar store yesterday in hopes of finding a box. I love the bigger boxes. This is a fairly large box, but it's not very thick. And I went to the dollar store yesterday specifically to find a box to put my slow stitching in. And I said, I need blue thread. And that's one of the other reasons we went shopping yesterday, is so I could get blue thread. Well, I did not get blue thread. So I was back in my stash room and I found this little sewing box that belonged to my brother's significant other. She's no longer with us. But look what's in here. Thread! And some needles. And there's black. And I think there's some dark blue. And I thought I saw some, no, well, this is kind of a lighter blue, which might work. And then I think I have a light blue teal. This is green. So I go, well, you know, K3N Cloth Tales says to use vintage. Use vintage, and this has to be vintage. It's at least 7 years old. I know that. I'm going to pull the thread out. Well, I don't know if I'll get to stitching, but I'll put it up here. So I'm going to follow her 2024 project. And can I come out just a little bit more? I don't know if I can zoom out anymore. I can, oh yeah, I can. You'll probably get a little bit of me here. How is that? Is that any better? I have to wait for my phone to catch up with me. That's a little better. Now let me straighten it out. I think I have to move this way. Is that the wrong way to move? I think that was the wrong way to move. I'm waiting for my phone to catch up with me. Oh, yeah, that was the wrong way. I'm going to do a little slow stitch dance here to get my camera. We have so many things hooked up to our Wi-Fi that it takes my phone 30 seconds to catch up with my actions here so that I can see what I'm doing. So I have my slow stitch project in here. First of all, I'm going to say I'm only going to stream until 6:15 this morning, Central Time. 6:45 Eastern Time. I have trouble translating from Central to other time zones, but all of the streams in the Streamathon are Eastern Time. Remember that. Raul says his resolution is to do less drawing and more practicing. I want to master the art of coloring. Am I? Let me refresh my messages here. Let's see. I think I have to go to settings to get to the chat filter. All messages. There. Now I'm updated. Arlene says, my church mama's mom was a seamstress. When she has to go into a home, I was giving her very old threads and supplies. Oh, wow, that's cool. That is really cool, Arlene. So you have a lot of vintage around you, and I do too, because I tell you, there's a lot in this house that I haven't explored that I can. I wish I could have known my brother's significant. I knew of her. She was a year or two ahead of me in high school, and she had her own friends. I just knew of her. And then my brother went into the Navy, and I went to college, and I lost all track of her until they got together again. Let's see. Paula and Eddie are new to me. Rain Girl, it's so good to see. It's Paula, I think. I see that tiny chat. So if I call you by your wrong name, I certainly apologize. Let's see. Eddie says, my mom purchased them when I was a wee lad. Let's see, what is Eddie talking about? I'm using thread from the 1980s. My mom purchased them when I was a wee lad. Where are you from, Eddie? You used the word wee lad, which makes me think you're from the UK. Eddie is new to me. There's Diana. Hi, Diana. Diana was an artist in residence last year, I believe. She did some beautiful art. If you haven't caught up with Diana, is Serenity Studio Art. You haven't caught up with her channel, and she does wonderful art. Let's see, what else have I missed out there that I need to catch up with? Miriam says, my New Year resolution is not to have any more resolutions and enjoy what life has given me. That last part, enjoy what life gives you. You know, if we don't take joy in what we have, well, who says that we're going to get any more? And the goal is not to get more, but enjoy what we have. Contentment is, and that's something that I need to work on sometimes. Contentment. Let's see, what else? Arlene posted the Streamathon schedule with links. I believe that's on my channel. I'm not really sure. Raul says, Kitty Jen, those were my daughter's drawings and then used an AI app. Kitty Jen says, I loved your dragon drawings that you did, Raul. Jaden is also new to me. Welcome in, Jaden. It's good to see you. Amira, you are new to me. Welcome in. It's good to see you. Cindy Rain Girl, I know her from a few years ago, but it's so good to see her again. It's so good to see you again, Cindy. She's Rain Girl. I call her Cindy. Let's see, have I missed anybody else? Terry Brett. Good morning, Terry. Terry is a Dee Willingham host, I believe, not host, a Dee Willingham moderator. And the word got tongue-tied on me. Yeah, let's talk about Dee. Let's talk about Dee. Dee is such a wonderful person. Dee and Janet Young and the musical scrapper, who I don't know if she's even online anymore, but they streamed on Ustream. This is kind of their background. They streamed on Ustream. Dee is Dee Willingham on YouTube. She has streamed for years and years, and she came over to Streamathon. Ustream started asking the streamers to pay to stream, and you know, why are they going to do that when they can come over to YouTube? And so that's what they did, and they brought the Streamathon with them. So Dee has a history with us. She's a wonderful artist, and she's kind of a point that draws everybody together because, you know, people enjoy Dee, and Dee shares out so many channels. I know she has given me so many shout outs. I am so grateful to her, not only for giving me a shout out, but also for sharing her wonderful art. She is so inspirational. So, and then Janet Young is so talented. And Janet Young refers to herself as a goofball. And I'm going, there's nothing goofy about you, Janet. There's nothing goofy about Janet Young, who is Janet M. Young on YouTube. And she is also streaming in the Streamathon. So I'm just checking to see if I've said good morning. I've gone way up. If I miss you now, because I'm going to share what I'm going to be doing, if I miss you while I'm talking, I want to welcome you now, because I miss a lot after I get focused on my desktop here. So this is the box I chose. They were all Christmas boxes. I think I'm going to just recover this part right in here. Maybe I'll put some of my slow stitching on it later. So I have pinned K3N Cloth Tales channel. Now, she's not a part of the Streamathon, and I don't know if she'll ever watch any of us. I don't even know if she knows. Well, I've posted that I am going to follow her project, but I just found her. She has a lot of followers. I don't even know if she knows that I exist, but I am so very inspired. And she is doing the cover to her 2024 journal. And if you go back and listen, if you click on her link and look at her videos, the last 4 videos, the first of the last 4 videos talks about what you will need for the 2024 project that she's going to be doing. She's going to be doing a video every week. She's in France, and she does not have good internet connection. So at this point, she's not doing live streams, she's doing videos, but I absolutely love, and I'm just one of many who love her videos. She's a sharer. She shares her knowledge. She has taught, and I think that's a part of why she shares so much. But I just enjoy, she's a storyteller. She'll tell stories about things in her life. She's fun to put on in the background if you're working on your projects. So if you go back and listen to part 1 of her journal cover that she's working on now, she'll tell you about Japanese Boro, B-O-R-O, which is a Japanese mending technique. And I was introduced to this through Cloth Tales, K3N Cloth Tales. I did not know that Japanese Boro existed. I knew that the sashiko existed. And I looked at it and I go, I don't know. I don't know if I'm enthused about blue denim. Well, she's using blue denim, but Japanese Boro is a way of stitching to mend the clothes, the workaday clothes, and that's the techniques that they use. So, and they use indigo blue. And in one of her journal videos here, these more recent ones, she talked about how they make indigo dye. Fascinating. I'll let her explain it to you. So she's very interesting to listen to, and she has a voice that you listen to it. It while you're working, you go, oh, that's interesting. Tell me more. So at first I thought, I'm not sure I'm going to like this. But the more I watched her, the more fascinated I became. And I got, well, I have blue denim around. I'm going to scrounge, and I think I'm going to follow her. Now, her journal, she gives you 2 options, but I'm only watching her. I don't want to go into it too much because I honestly don't know what she's going to do next. She's working on the cover. I don't know where she's going from there, but I'm going to follow her. And she also does what she calls these stitch meditation scrolls. And, we've all done slow stitch like this. And this is mine. I'm following her. I put it on a spool that I got from Pearl Brown on Pearl's Finds. Pearl was selling these in the last year or so. I don't know if she's selling them anymore. I'm so glad I got what I did of her. I'm not going to pull this apart. I'm just going to show you where it is now, because it's she calls them meditation stitch scrolls. And I'm just so fascinated with what she's doing. So that's mine right here. I also had to clear off my entire desk so I could get all this layout on here. I actually use this stuff for my tatting. Here's my, bringing up tatting because I am in a group. I joined a group last year. Last year I did a lot of tatting, which I will continue to do this year. I joined a group called the Online Tatting Class. I have learned so much from these ladies. They are pros. I'm a needle tatter, which I don't have my needle out here, but I'm a beginner shuttle tatter. And let me tell you, I am a beginner. Well, I'm a beginner needle tatter too. Last year I've been making these little green wreaths, which are beginner projects. And mine certainly aren't all that perfect, but when I sent out my Christmas cards, if you sent me a Christmas card, this one I accidentally snipped the hanger. So this will go in my journal. But this is as far as I've gotten. My goal for last year was to accomplish on the shuttle, and this is a biggie shuttle here, and I like it because this is sport weight yarn. And my goal for last year by the end of December, which is today, was to shuttle tat a ring and a chain. And look, I accomplished it. There's a lady called Katia V that she visited my channel. Was it Friday night? Friday night. I was having a rough night Friday night. And I didn't have this out to show her. But Katie V, I call her Katie V, it's Katia. What a pretty name, Katia. She is a tatter, and primarily a needle tatter, and I've learned so much from her. But there's my 2023 tatting goal accomplished. Yay! So I have all this out, but I also use it for my slow stitching and this. All of this, my scissors, my file, these are all the ends of my tatting project. I'm going to make a tassel. I might put that on my 2023 December daily. These are beading needles. They're very thin. These are my tatting needles and crochet hooks and my scissors. And I need these out today. These are just straight pins. I need to keep those out. I'm going to put this back in here. So I have little containers of all my stuff. I'm just kind of showing this to you because I'll talk about this in a minute. This is my slow stitch box here. Some of you, I'm going to cover this. This was my smartphone box. I have things in here that I want to put on this stitch scroll. And so I keep it all, my little bits and bops in here. I have some Greek key trim here. I have ribbon, some almost used red thread. This lace I got from Joyce Boring. She sent me almost a whole yard, probably even more than a yard. I snipped off a piece. I'm going to put it on my stitch scroll. I have some old lace here. So that's just something you'll see me working on this in 2024. I'm not going to dwell too much on it. I'm just going to show it to you. So now let's talk about what I chose for my, and I've shown this kind of before in some of my journals. Let me move some of this around. When I get ready to cut my pieces, my background pieces, I will have to move all this stuff off my desk. I would like another little stand. I have to tell you, it will become full like these, but I certainly need another little stand here to put things while I'm streaming on. You know, like these things that I got out. I don't dare. Do I dare? I dared. I had some little pieces that I keep out here. The 2023, I'm going to miss the year of the rabbit. I got this rabbit at the thrift store, and Tim Holtz gilded a rabbit. So I gilded this rabbit. This was my 2023 year of the rabbit. What if this I goodbye to him? I'll put him up on my desk. I'm going to miss him. I'll put him over here. So does anybody know out there what 2024, what in the Chinese zodiac is it? What is it for 2024? Maybe I'll see if it's something I can gild. These are the pieces that I'm going to start out using, and this piece. And I'm going to have to cut and measure this. Now I have not, this may change. This may change as I see her, K3N get into her, as I see her get into her, here I'm talking, her pages. I've seen some of her other journals, but as she gets into her pages, I guess I just get all of these out. She might do something that changes my mind, and she's already done that once. I'll talk about that, but these are what I'm thinking that I'm going to, I have to get to them. Those will work. Yeah, where's the, what did I do with it? Here. So, when she puts her journals together, she has two types that you can use. And I'm talking 2024 project. One is where she has her cover. She's got a paper signature on one side and a paper signature on the other. And in the middle, she has cloth. She's got 3 signatures. On the other one, she has 3 signatures of all cloth. And that's what I'm going to use. And I had torn these before, and I had them in my stash. And so they're ready to go. And then I just put this little dresser scarf on it. I have a larger dresser scarf that's really too large. I might end up cutting it. Whoops, it goes this way. I'm not sure. I really do like it, but it's just a little bit too large. It matches this one. So if I cut it up, I'll have to cut it in a way that fits the page. And I'm not sure about how I'll do that. So I'm keeping it around as inspiration. And then this would be the first signature that I'll start working on, probably, unless she changes my mind, which it could very well happen. Then I have some flannel pieces. I had started a 8x8 project with Becky at Aunt Beck's Creations, and I got one 8x8 done, and I don't know what I did with it. It's somewhere. But I cut up this flannel bed sheet that was all torn. I washed it up. It was my brother's, and he just wore it out. And I'm thinking it's the same height as this. The pages, let me grab one out. The pages are a little bit longer. So as I get to the next signature, I might cut the page down to fit. And then, of course, I can always use the leftover in my projects. But this will probably become, the flannel will probably become my second signature. And for the third one, I'm not sure yet. I've been thinking about making a denim pages to match and just do borel stitching on it. Like, just have a completely Japanese borel signature. Wouldn't that be cool? That's probably what I'll do. So let me set these aside. Well, I might have to come back to them. So let's talk about how I'm going to arrange this. And my pages measure, let me set these. Oh dear, I'm running out of space. My pages measure here, and I'll put this back down with this other someplace around to put it behind me. They measure, I think, 5.5 by Yeah, 5.5 from here to here is 5.5. And from here to here is, oh, I said 9.5, but it's not 9.5. It is 8. So I'd probably make them 8.5. Well, these are 8. So 5.5 by 8 is the size of my page, which makes it a nice handheld piece to work on. Now, binding these, I'm not going to bind them until I get ready to put them in, because I'm going to work on them like this. Because, and you know, it may take me until, well, 2050 to finish this. I have another stitching journal that I started. It was a Stitch Caboodle by Rosemary Morris, and I started it in 2019. I've got it all put together, kind of, you know, pages and the cover and all of that, but it's not stitched and it's not bound. So you may be seeing me work on that next year too. And I'll be doing other art, but this is my main focus for 2024. And look at my camera. I moved my, let's see, hold on, let me straighten things out. When I had that big box here, it made sense, but now it's all off here. Let me straighten my world out. And now that let me zoom in a little more now that I'm away from that big box. And how is that? I have to give me 30 seconds here to catch up with myself. Yeah, that's good. Although when I get ready to cut my background, yeah, I'll probably go out of frame again. So these are the denim pieces that I'm going to start out with. And as oh look, I found this yesterday. Tanya McGuire, this, that, and chat, I think is the name of her channel, Tanya McGuire. Oh, it has to be a couple years ago. Sent people who wanted to work on it she called this ugly fabric. And and I cut this in there. I started cutting out, I drew squares in here and I started cutting them out. I lost this. I had lost it. I don't know if she wants it back. I'd love to cut it up and I'll ask her, do you want it back? Can I just send you a piece of it back? I'll do stitching on it because I would love to put it in here. So we'll see. I'll talk to her. I'll say, I finally found that ugly fabric you sent me. So that's on there. These are pieces that I'm going to use. What did I call this? 5.5 by 8. 5.5 by 8. Those are the pages. I've got a blue bandana here. I've got a blue bandana. And look, I had even gotten this year. These were on sale for $3 at Walmart. I got those a couple weeks ago. And look, I found this. I found this too when I was searching for something I could use in the background. And it's fairly long and it's wide enough because this is 8, this is at least 12. Let's see. It is, let me find the right, it's 13 inches high. And my book is only 8 inches, so I'll have a 2.5-inch border, which is good for me. But as I was and I was thinking I was going to use this to stitch on the back. And that's what my plan was. I was going to stitch on, you know, I was going to put all my denim pieces on this. That was my plan. But I watched her last video last night. And she layers her fabric. She has a backing fabric, and then she has a fabric that she layers on the back. This will become the back, but I'm not going to stitch from my denim onto this. So that goes there, but I am going to use it. I found some text fabric that was Tim Holtz text fabric that was sent to me by she sent me a package of Tim Holtz fabric that I was overjoyed to get. And they're fat quarters. And I was overjoyed to get them. I thought, wow, thank you so much. Thank you so much. And then a little bit later, I got a box of it, a small box, but it's several pieces of Tim Holtz fabric. I pulled this out thinking that I might use it as backing fabric, but I just can't quite do it yet. So that's why it's here, because I had pulled it. And then I got a little bit of strip of Galaxy fabric. And you'll see all of this later. I want to, let's open this up. We're going to use, I'm going to keep these in my box with my slow stitching. K3N rips a lot of her fabric because she likes the frayed edges, and I do too. So I don't know how much of these scissors I will actually use, but I need to cut a background piece to actually stitch on because I don't want to use that. I also have some red tape measure fabric that I found at the quilt store just recently. And I'm not going to use that, but it would make a nice accent piece. It's tape measure fabric because over on my other. But we'll come to that when we come to it. Let me get these out. You're watching me open my, they only cost me $3. They were on sale. These are Pioneer Girl scissors. I don't know how sharp they are, but I'm going to use these. I'm going to keep them in my, look, this would make a wonderful mold. I wonder if I could do a wax scissors out of this. Wouldn't that make a wonderful mold? I don't know if the wax would pop out of that. I think I'll keep that. Wouldn't it be fun to do? See, this is how I go. This is how I roll. I get, that's how come I have so many unfinished projects. I go, oh, wouldn't it be fun to do that? Because it's, I'd love to have a pair of, I'll get that wax that's glue. I don't know that you can put it in your glue gun. It's wax for the glue gun. I don't know if it would, I'd have to test it in a piece first. Just test a little piece, let it dry and see if I could pop it out. Maybe down in this smaller scissors thing here. I'm going to keep that out. All right, that's a rabbit trail. These I'm just going to put in my little container. I wish I could close them. Oh, you can close them and lock them. Looks like you can lock them. Maybe not. Maybe not. I'll have to face them down. Okay. I want to get, and then I found this piece yesterday too with the blue floral and the lace. It's also got a pink one over here. That will probably go on one of the pages. This will not be a page. I'll probably take these motifs off of it. So I'm going to be on the lookout for blue this year. So let me move this off. Let me move the fabric. Oh dear, where am I going to move it to? Down there. Okay. So now what I need, don't knock your light off, Meri, is a background piece. And we said that other measured, what did they say, 13 inches? So what I need, and I'm going to make my background piece larger, and then when I can snip off pieces when I stitch. So I think she made her spine 2.5 inches. So I need, let me draw, let me get this out again here. I need to watch my time because I get somebody yell at me 5 minutes before I'm supposed to leave. Hopefully I'll see it. It is now 6:15, so I have a half an hour. I have a half an hour. And of course I need a pencil here. And I'm just going to draw on here. This will be me planning my book here, my cover, my stitch piece. So I know, let's call this right about here the center. And I need a 2.5 inch border, spine, 2.5 inch. My pages are 5.5 and 5.5. So that's 12.5 for the piece. Well, I'm going to make it wider because I'm just going to stitch on it wider. This will be the length of that blue fabric. Well, I could make that wider too, what I said was the background here was on that blue tape measure fabric was 13 inches. And this way, let me draw it down. Let me fold this in half so that I can, when I put it in my journal, I'll have one on one page and one on the other. So this way is 5, 10, 11, 12, 13 and a half. Boy, that's almost a square. And I don't really want to work on a square piece. So from here to here is, from here to here, fold this. Because I want to put this in my December journal, desk journal. From there to there is, let me draw this down a little, erase this. From here to here is 13 inches. And I'm going to make this, did I say 12 and a half, 5, 10, 11, 12, 13 and a half. So it is a square, almost. 5, 10, 11, 12, 13 and a half. I'm going to add a couple more inches on here. I'm figuring out how big I want my background piece. Let's see. I'm going to add a little bit more here. I keep making this shorter for my diagram because 13 will come out to here. Let's make dots. And I'm going to add more. I think I want 3 inches more. So that's 13. That would be 3 inches there. And I want to add 3 more inches there. So I'd be adding 6 inches onto my 13, which would make this 19 inches high. And the only reason I'm doing that, my book is not going to be 19 inches. My book is only going to be 8 inches high. 8 inches. This is good for me. I hopefully, and my spine is 2.5 inches here and 5.5 here and 5.5 here. So the width, I've got this as 19 inches. I'm going to make my width, I think, 22 inches. Let's see, this is, what did I say? 13 and a half. Let's make it, I don't like the halves. I want it on. This is 13 from 9 is 6. Let's see, let's make it 13 and a half, and 6 would be 19 and a half. I want to get rid of that half. Well, if I add 6, that would be, I'm going to have to add 6.5 onto this, which would make it exactly 20 inches wide. But I'm going to make it 22 inches wide. It's 22 is in my head. So why I went through all of that figuring up is because I have this bed sheet that I originally was going to use as the backing, and I thought, no, I don't need it. And this was a piece that got all ripped. This is a fitted sheet that got all ripped up at the corner. One of these corners is all ripped. And it's very much wrinkled up because I just threw it in my stash. I want to cut a piece out of here or tear. We'll start out by cutting through the fitted portion here. And I'm not going to rip it all up. I'm just going to, I'm going to get down into this part here, and I'll have to press it. I'm just going to kind of cut a big piece here. And let's see, I got to keep an eye on my time. It's 5:20. I have till 5:45 my time, Central Time. So I can get started. I have to go down past this seam here. All right, now I think I can rip. And I'll use all of this in my stitching. This bed sheet is all ripped up anyway. So, what did I say? I was going to make it 22 by 19. Let's make it 20 inches high by 22 inches wide, and I will have plenty of space to do extra stitching on. That's what I'm doing. And I'll press this out. I won't press it here, but I'll press it out. And this is all gathered. So once you get all these gathers out, I think you're going to see, have quite a bit of material in these sheets. And I'm cutting it there, but I need to cut it here. So let me cut it here and get this piece off. I think. We'll see. It's hard to, because it's a fitted corner, it's going to probably have a little bit of a curve there, but that's okay. Let me just tear. And it's tearing on the, it's doing a pretty good job. It's actually got a little ruffle there. And I'm not going to tear all the way down. I'm going to tear about 20 inches down because that's what I want. 20 by 22. And I think I certainly am there. So let me hopefully tear the other way, and we'll measure out. Let's see. We will measure out. That's pretty big. Can I tear down this way now? I don't know. It's so big, and I'm seated at my desk. I may run into a problem here. But I think I'm getting it. And this seems pretty big. However, it's got the corner here, the curl. So I want, is that 22 inches? Let me grab my longest ruler. I might have goofed here. Oh yeah, there's 15. And boy, I might have just got there. 15 and 12. So that's, I might leave it that long and just keep stitching on it. Now, I'm going to rip this off here though, because I don't like that curve. So let me, and I'll just fold up what pieces I don't use. This is a sheet, so there's plenty. Let's tear it this way. And see the rip? I love to rip. I'd much rather rip than I'd much rather rip than cut. And Cloth Tales, K3N Cloth Tales says use vintage fabric, use what you have around. Don't go into your wardrobe and cut up your $80 blouse or your $120 suit. Probably $500 now, what those business suits. I haven't bought a business suit since the 1980s. Because I don't have in business. They used to wear in the 80s and 90s, those business suits. Even the secretaries wore them. All right. So that's a good length of fabric here. Whatever it is, I'm going to use lengthwise. I'll double it after. So widthwise, I want at least 20. But I think I'll make it a little bit longer than that even. I think I'll just tear it down here because I would rather give me more space and have extra to cut off than not have enough. Now, after I get this all torn off, I am going to measure out whatever my book is. And I'll just, on the back, I'll draw a line. And I'll probably draw where my book is. and where, let me just keep, am I tearing right here? I think I am. Where my book ends, and then where I want my backing fabric to be, and then I'll have extra. So let's see what I have here. I have a big piece. I have a huge piece. Let me get this other off of my lap, and we'll work with just this. This sheet does not have as many loose threads. I've torn sheets off where you have all these loose threads. They become a nest. They become a nest. But you know, they'll work really good in Janet Nash's fairy ribbon, fairy dust ribbon. If you haven't watched Janet Nash from the UK, you need to go watch her. Let me stop at this point and welcome folks in. Hi, Dee Dee. There's our inspiration. Hi, Dee Dee. Good morning, Dee Dee. It's so good to see you. Miriam says, to all, be sure to be live on all messages in the chat. Oh, she's talking about go on live chat instead of top chat, because then you'll get all of the messages. The way I understand it, you only get, when you get top messages, you don't get everything. I'm not going to give a giveaway. I would love to give a giveaway, but this is my other goal. I want to get mail out next year. I'm not going to do any more giveaways until I've caught up with myself. This is another Meri problem. It's one of my Meri problems. And it is a problem for me. But as much as I want to give a giveaway, you guys, you may not get it for 2 years. So that's going to get fixed. 2024. Did Mary Lou come in? Hi, Mary Lou, Auntie Loopy, and Dar. Good morning, ladies. It's so good to see everybody. This is a good way to kick off a year, isn't it? Welcome to everybody who's come in. Let's see, who have I missed? I got Arlene and Paula. And did I miss? She's saying good morning to Sista. Who did I miss? Paula, Arlene, Paula. I'm just looking for people that Rain Girl Riri. There's Riri. Good morning, Riri. Raul. Hi, Raul. Thank you so much for hosting. Janet would like that ruler fabric, Mary. Isn't that cool? Which Janet? Janet Nash? I'm not going to do any more giveaways. I want to so bad, but I just have to, I have to make myself give away, mail out my past giveaways before I do any more. I would love to give Janet some. Let's see, who haven't I welcomed in here? Chris, Riri, you guys just see a blank. Let's at least put a prayer lady on there. Let's see, Riri, Serenity, Dee, Riri. I'm just kind of going up through my chat, see if I miss somebody. Terry Brett, Ann Laura. Good morning, Ann. It's so good to see you. Rain Girl, Kimberly. Hi, Kimberly. Kimberly has been such a wonderful support. Kimberly just had a birthday. Not when was it? Was it last week or the week before, Kimberly? And the other person who just had a birthday, if you see her online, wish her her birthday, I believe, was Friday. Was Melody, loves her hobbies. If you see her online, wish her a recent happy birthday. Who else have I missed? If I missed you, oh, Mark, Arts Exploration, Mr. Eternity. I call him Mr. Eternity. He likes to be called Eternity. I call him Mr. Eternity because I love the sound of it, Mark. Welcome in. It's good to see you too. Mark is another person who's been around, and then for a while he wasn't. He also has a channel. Let's let's encourage him to get back into it. Let's encourage him to get back into it. Oh, it's the year of the dragon. Oh, I've got to find a dragon. I'm going to gild a dragon. I might go thrifting online for a dragon. I'm gonna try to gild. I'm sure I can find a little dragon piece. I'm gonna gild it. So that's a goal. That is a goal. Let's get out. Let's honor Dee Dee. Let's get out my. I get sidetracked very easy, you guys. This is my Society of Idea Collectors journal. If you haven't found Dee Dee's Society of Idea Collectors playlist, you're missing out. Meri says you're missing out. Of course, now I haven't zoomed out enough to show this entire journal. I created it in 2022, so it's going to be 2 years old, and I'm probably on, I have to show you. This is all Dee Dee inspired. Dee Dee went to, was it Hobby Lobby, where she bought a light bulb that clicked off and on? And so I said, oh, I've got to do something like that. And I found these little mini lights by Tim Holtz Mini Lights. And I drew a light bulb up here. And I could put a hole in there. And look. On, off, on, off. Bright ideas. Inspired by Dee Dee. And then I got this little girl from Ray D. Ray D sent this to me, and she's really working in a scrapbook, but I call this her Society of Idea. Is that off? No, it's on. We don't want to leave it on here. Let me turn it off. Okay. So this is where I put all my bright ideas, and I've got some little light bulb stickers now, inspired by Dee Dee. Dee Dee does sticker art, and I made some Society of Idea for my bright ideas, some sticker art. They're out in the other room. I'm still cutting on them. But here's where I'm planning my erase. See, just looking at this. I want to fill in all of these right now. I want to stop what I'm doing. Don't do it, Meri. Don't do it. But this is my Society of Idea Collector. I was doing some batik inspired by Rosemary Morris. I'd love to get out my batik again. This was my current project list. Started. I drew light bulbs by all my ideas. I forgot my idea I was going to write down in here. What idea was I going to write down? That's why I got this out, and I've already forgot it. It went right through my head. I'll have to listen to my video to see what I was going to write down in here, because I got to talking about Society of Idea Collectors. Then I got into tatting. I've left some blank pages before I did my tatting mind map. So let's see. I've got, what, about 10 minutes? Oh, Dee Dee, thank you so much. You are such an inspiration. You are such an inspiration. Here I was drawing my Penelope girl again here. What I want to do here in the last few minutes, and let's just get out an ink pen. Hopefully I can get one out that will not soak through. If it soaks through, it soaks through, but we're going dedicated to Dee Dee. Dee Dee does the mind mapping for Society of Idea Collector. Now this may take some of you. I want to move on here. This because we can at least start it. This is my slow stitching project for 2024, and the topic on here is going to be Japanese Boro B-O-R-O stitching. And what I want from you guys in the last few minutes is to tell me everything that you can find about Japanese Boro stitching. Go out there, Google it real fast, and just browse some articles and tell me what this is all about. And while you're doing that, I'm going to do the who, the what, and I'm going to put A here. The what? B. The when? And of course, I'll be working on this offline. You can fill in some of that book next time, Meri, when you go live. Yeah. The when, that's C. And actually, this goes off. When you make an arrow with a little shading and put a circle around it, it means it goes to another page. So page number. Page number. And, you know, this will be very slow, but you've basically seen what I'm going to do. I'll take this background fabric that I have on my desk here, and I'll press it all out. And then I'm going to measure a spot for my book and a spot for the background. And then I'll have some extra that I'll just do stitching on that will become my book cover. But I'll do that all offline. This needs to be pressed out. So C goes off. This is who, what, when. This will go off to a page. Who, what, when, why. Why, who, what, when. Oh, well, it's where, but I'm going to put why next. So that goes to D. And it'll be a page, one of these other pages. It'll be another mind map. Who, what, when, where. That's E. That goes off to a page. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and how. Who, what, when, where, why, how is F. And then I have consolidated all my little extra W's into, this is G, and into one that calls wonder. Because there's wonder why, wonder if, what if, why not, all my other little W's. I put them, and then I'm including stories and lists and all sorts of miscellaneous stuff under wonder. I added that one because I started adding the why not and what if and separate categories, but I got so many that I put them under wonder. This is where your imagination starts, let me tell you. Well, it all starts here. But I'll be working on this maybe in 2024, because this topic, and I'll put slow stitching. And here's what is slow stitching? How does slow stitching differ from embroidery? How did the Japanese get in there? And I'm going to put journal here, because this is what I'm going to be working on in 2024. So let me read some of the things that you guys have said. Let's see. Very inspirational. Arlene dropped a link to Miriam's channel. Miriam is coming on after me. I might have to go make me another cup of coffee. You guys, I took my brother out yesterday. We didn't go get, well, he had a chicken fried steak. He loves chicken dinners, and I was going to take him out to, he likes the ones at Pizza Ranch, but we have to go up to Grand Island, which is a 60, 70-mile drive, seems like. Maybe not quite that far, but it seems that far to me, and we decided not to go. I was tired because I was up all night Sunday night, and I said, well, I still want to take you out to eat. So we went out to Perkins, which is a pretty decent, you know, it's a family-style restaurant. We like to eat. I like their salads. I got a salad, an omelet, and then I ordered I thought I was just going to order a little dish of, well, I got the over 55 menu. I thought I was going to get a little dish of onion rings, because I love their onion rings. They are so crispy.
he brought out the appetizer platter, which was this big. And I said, "You want some onion rings, brother?" And so, but we still had some I brought home. I'm going to have them for lunch today. Onion rings and a muffin. The muffin and something else. Oh, the omelet. We had 2 toppings and the muffin that I could have with my dinner. And I brought the muffin home. The muffin's huge. My brother had a chicken fried, I had a lemonade. He had a chicken fried steak dinner. And he said, "I want some carrot cake." And so I said, he's been so good to me. Let me say thank you to my brother. Start out by 2024. My older brother, his name is Tom, and we call him Pogo because my little grandniece couldn't pronounce Grandpa. She called him Pogo. So he's always Pogo. If you hear me talk about Pogo, I'm talking about my older brother. But bless his heart, for the last 7 years, I've had a roof over my head. And I think about it, I probably would not have made it through the pandemic living alone. I just think about that. So I took him out for dinner yesterday to and we enjoyed it. We went shopping and all of that. So it's a good way to say goodbye to 2023, which is what I need to do in about 4 minutes. Let's see. Let me go back down here. Dee Dee rocks. Dee Dee does. Dee Dee Willingham. She rocks. She's going to stream tomorrow. Kimberly says, "I'm in the Dee Dee fan club too." Let's see. The art of reworking and preparing. So this is what it is. It's the art. Let's see. It goes into, I got who. This is what. So Dee Dee says it's the art of reworking and repairing textiles, of reworking, and that's a good explanation. Reworking and repairing textiles. Now, let me tell you, once we start this, it will grow. This is just a little mind map. But let me show you and it's still growing, my tatting mind map. Is that in here? Yeah. My tatting, of course, I had to put little tatting ring here. And it's not done. But I've got it all off into pages. And I'm still, the one I have the most on is, what is tatting? So I like to do these mind maps because this is how you get ideas. Dee Dee says, write it down. So let me stop there because I've got 2 minutes. And the next stream is by Miriam. And did you pop in, Arlene, Miriam's channel? I think she did, up above. Miriam's channel. She's coming on at 6:45 to 7. It's a video by it's the New Year's organizers. So that's only going to be on for about 15 minutes. Maybe I'll wait with my coffee and watch that first. And then after Miriam is Chris K, because I can't pronounce her last name. Chris is from Mexico, and she goes for a couple hours. So, and then I'll let you guys look at the schedule. It's all over the internet. It's on my Facebook page. It's also on my community tab. I'm sure that you'll be seeing this shared out. So I have 1 minute left. Let me look through. Let me go down to the bottom. It's no video, it's a stream. Oh, it's a stream. She's going to stream. So pop on over to Miriam. You're going to see her live. You're going to see her live, Miriam. Miriam is over in Israel. So I just love that we have internationals. I love it. The links are also in Miriam's community chat. So if you get lost along the way,
go to Miriam's channel, go to her community tab. It's on my community tab. It's all over Facebook. Ask somebody. So Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you, Mary Lou. It's so good to see you. So I'm going to end it. Bye, everybody. It's 5:45. Bye. Hop on over to Miriam's channel. Happy New Year.